What's goody, Sipper Society? It's your girl, Lady T, and welcome back to the second season of So here on the Tea Lounge. Now listen, today we've got some serious tea to sip on. From health scares to heartbreak, legal battles, personality disorders, and cocaine. We're diving deep into the world of your favorite celebrities. So grab your teacup, get comfortable, and let's talk about it.
Yeah, Leonard the teammate. What? You are now rocking the she, your favorite beat. Lady T in a place to be. And you have now entered the T line. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Lady T up in the mix, yeah, time for the show. Tune into the lounge where you already know. Serving up the gossip hot, fresh, fast, and slow. Hit that subscribe, let the engagement flow. Comments go wild, audience on the go. Attention on point like a rock in the show. All they see is Lady T making it grow. The T down the top, watch it catch and blow.
Hey. So listen, first up, we have Wendy Williams, the one who once ran these streets as the queen of all media. Now she's been described as cognitively impaired and permanently incapacitated. Now, some of y'all might remember when she fainted live on air back in 2017. And we were worried then, but this diagnosis seems to be explaining a lot. But here's the thing that gets me. Her guardian filed a lawsuit against A&E for the documentary Where is Wendy Williams, claiming that the producers took advantage of her vulnerability for financial gain.
So you know what the streets are saying.
What are they saying? Because these streets be doing a lot.
You know what the streets are saying, Lady T. The situation gets people torn at the end of the day because some say that Wendy deserves the privacy and respect, but others argue the public has the right to know. That's
right.
What she would be doing right now if she was capable. What's your take on this? Should A&E be accountable? Or be held accountable
number
for this?
one, from what I remember when we covered it the first time, and recently, the family's saying that this is not true. She's not permanently incapacitated, and in addition to that, that guardian has been shady from jump. Right? And I think there's something to be said.
Who appointed? The courts appointed the guardian.
Yeah, the court. The bank. Wells Fargo started this whole
I remember this from when we had the show the last time when we first. So at the end of the day, what I'm still curious or not understanding is why aren't her legal guardian Kevin or Kevin Jr. or even her father?
That's the
maybe
thing.
Not father,
When
Kevin Jr.
Kelvin, I said the correct names, but Kevin, little Kev,
right. He was the one who was handling,
spent that money. When he spent that $100,000 that his mother said was okay to spend.
And I believe that.
You know, me too. It probably was, she probably could sneeze on $100,000.
And most parents, sidebar, when they have only children, that child really does
okay? So I'm pretty sure that she allowed for that.
Yes,
but that alerted, that sent them up these like so-called red flags. But to me, it's very, very suspicious, this whole situation. And from my understanding, the family wanted A&E or, to show it so that people could see actually what was going on with this guardianship. She didn't have food in her refrigerator.
Do you think if Wendy was in clear mind that she would, like if this was the other foot, if this was someone else, would this be a hot topic that Wendy would be discussing?
I think it would be a hot topic that Wendy's discussing. That's another thing that people are discussing. How much of this is karma? Because it's one thing to talk about things that's already out there that is public knowledge or has been made public knowledge. But to get people's hairdressers and stylists and personal assistants to send you information on celebrities and put it out there for decades, a lot of people feel as if she's getting her just dessert. I don't know if it would hit this hard, though.
Well, why did you want to talk about Miss Keyshia Cole?
All right. Let's get to this Keyshia Cole's bit, right? So now, Sis popped out with a blinged out broken heart ring and had the internet in shambles. Like, girl, what are you doing? One fan said she is crashing out bad. Where are her friends? Another shared, I like my embarrassment a little bit more private. And honestly, I'm with them. Keyshia has been out here declaring herself single as F in a now deleted post, but we are all side-eyeing her situationship with rapper Huncho. We've been, they've been now low-key for a little minute and trying to keep it quiet, but he might have something to do with the fact that she was out here singing I Remember like it was 2005 again.
Lady T.
Yes, ma'am.
You know Keyshia is no stranger to drama.
Right.
But do you think that her broken heart ring is about growth or just her way of crying for attention? Now, I asked you this because I am no Keyshia Cole.
No.
But
listen, can I talk to her for a second? Keyshia, girl, I'ma need for you to take your own advice. If he ain't gonna love you the way he should, then please let it go. And letting it go doesn't mean spending God knows how much money you spent on that diamond ring to have a daily reminder of how this young buck, okay, all of 20, in his mid-20s, 25, 26 years old, played you in front of the world with another young tenderoni, some young whippersnapper with the snapping turtle, while you're sitting here in your big age of 3 years old? While she's giving snapping turtle, you're giving hippopotamus orifice, okay? Ma'am, please, when you were singing, when she was singing, I remember, when she was singing, Love, I never knew that I was missing. This young man was singing, clean up, everybody do your share, okay? When this young man, when you were singing your greatest hits, he was outside of some grocery store getting a lecture from his mom. When we get in this store, don't ask for nothing, don't look at nothing, don't touch nothing. Ma'am, what are you doing? I'm gonna need you to find a rocking chair and have a seat and just swing low, sweet chariot. I'm over it. I'm sorry, no ma'am. So now, speaking of celebs and their shenanigans, let's get into it about Mr. Diddy. Because when Diddy wants bail, you got to tell him no. A third judge recently ruled to keep him behind bars after he was hit with some serious charges, racketeering, sex trafficking, and some more stuff. But here's where it gets real. Crazy. Evidence from 2016 shows Diddy allegedly assaulted his ex Cassie and even tried to tamper with witnesses. And that was recent. So now,
On the same day, Sean Diddy Combs was denied bail by another federal judge again. He was slapped with another lawsuit, this one for $10 million. The plaintiff in this case is a friend of Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura. The balcony incident was briefly mentioned in Cassie's now settled federal lawsuit against Combs. However, she didn't mention her friend by name. The singer claimed in the middle of her 29th birthday, Combs pressured her to leave a party to go to a freak-off. According to Cassie's lawsuit, after the freak-off, she and Combs went back to the hotel room where Cassie's friends were already hanging out. Cassie alleged the mogul was severely intoxicated and at one point picked up her friend like a child and dangled her off the 17th-story balcony of the hotel suite. Cassie and her friends were terrified by Combs' behavior. Bongolan says she and her girlfriend were sleeping over at Cassie's LA apartment. She claims she woke up to Combs violently shouting and banging on Cassie's front door. Bongolan says she told her girlfriend to hide in the bathroom and lock the door. And Combs allegedly barged into the apartment while Bongolan was on the apartment's balcony. She claims Combs grabbed her and groped her breast as she tried to fight him off and yelled at him to leave her alone. Combs then allegedly grabbed her by the armpits and lifted her up on the banister of the 17th floor balcony and repeatedly yelled, "Do you know what the F you did? Do you know what the F you did?" She says she struggled to get back on the ground and claims she was overpowered by Combs as she only stood about 5 feet tall, weighing less than 100 pounds. According to the suit, he immediately lifted her up higher and higher over the 17th floor balcony, with Combs' grip keeping her from falling to her death. She says Cassie, who was locked in her bedroom, ran out onto the balcony and screamed at Combs to stop, and told him Bongolan's girlfriend was also in the apartment and could overhear what was happening. The lawsuit claims that because Combs recognized that there were so many witnesses to the assault, he pulled Bongolan back over the balcony. But he didn't release her.
Now, Diddy's no stranger to the controversy. He's been going through it since, what was it, October? But this case is hitting a little different. Being accused of some real wild stuff with this dangling this woman off a balcony, and his team is denying everything. But these allegations, child. Now, his trial is set for May, and while he's sitting behind bars, he's being hit with over 24 additional suits. They say he's a threat to the community, and honestly, with all this evidence, who can blame them? So now, what? No, I mean, he's crazy.
I'm laughing about who you getting ready to talk about.
Yes, but no, Diddy is insane. Like,
right,
I don't even got nothing else to say.
Diddy.
Keep him behind bars. He got AR-15s and whatnot in the in there with the registration shaved off, whatever. Next up, we have man who can't seem to keep his thing in his pants, but this time he's making headlines for something a little different. Nick recently opened up about being diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, and he says he needs help. He needs help. Nick said he's embracing the new label and using it to improve himself.
Diagnosed with a narcissistic.
You mean clinically diagnosed with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But and when I did get diagnosed with it, because I have no problem with it, it's a spectrum. You know what I mean? And I think even it starts off with like confidence, overconfident, arrogance, and then that's when you step into the space of narcissism. And in that, there's markers. And when someone has like extreme narcissistic behavior disorder, it has things like the lack of empathy, rage, all of those things. I don't have those. Like
I was just going to ask you, how many of those symptoms do you identify with?
Yeah. Like I identify with all of them except for those two.
Except for the rage and the.
Yeah, I have no rage, and I have, I'm very empathetic.
Got it.
He said he said the markers are arrogance, confidence. That he thinks that's what narcissistic personality disorder is, and then he has the audacity with his 12 children and how many different baby mamas to think that he doesn't lack empathy. He thinks he doesn't lack empathy.
So
Kitty,
do you think that this is a genuine move from Nick, or just a PR strategy?
I think that he is genuinely a narcissist using this for PR.
Sidebar. Can I just say, I am not a fan of that lady.
Okay. That Cheyenne lady?
I
don't know much about her.
No, she was on Basketball Wives, and she
was on Basketball
for
Wives?
like last season for half a second. She was one of Jackie's friends.
Right.
So I am not a fan of, like, she got that little 15 minutes, and now she's on everybody's
she's spinning it.
Oh my God.
Right, now she's spinning
and
it.
She's talking to everybody. But okay.
That's all going
Who else
Nick.
you got? Ooh, well, Nick, first of all, he ain't done. How about that? Okay, so regardless of however he is or whatever he's been diagnosed with, the 12 is still just the beginning. He's not done.
Oh my God, he still got time.
Yes, honey.
And no consideration for the fact, this is the same man who last Father's Day said, I want to give my children an opportunity to connect with me. Your children have to find opportunities to connect with you. They not connected already? Because you got your self spread out too thin and don't realize no consideration for the women that you're impregnating. And then have the audacity to sit there and say that 80% of women smell like, have a odor. And never once considered that you was throwing that what's it called, pH balance off with your nasty, rusty, dirty behind.
Father, it's on here. It's on your office.
It's on my shoulder.
Yeah. Okay. So let's continue. Let's keep it moving.
So here, right, we have Kendrick Lamar. He is back, reminding us who truly runs rap, and right now it looks like it's him. His surprise drop, GNX, a surprise album dropped. It's called GNX. It has 12 tracks and it's 44 minutes of pure mastery, fusing West Coast vibes with his unmatched lyrical finesse. The album kicks off with Whacked Out Murals, a heavy bass track packed with storytelling, and it calls out legends that even includes Mr. Snoop. And then there's Squabble Up, which he gave us a taste of in the music video Not Like Us. And I don't want y'all to sleep on Reincarnated, his heartfelt tribute to Tupac, where Kendrick wrestles with themes of peace and conflict. Now, further down, another cut in the album is Luther, which features SZA. And it's a smooth, romantic, and it's absolutely a vibe. And then the final track is Gloria. And in this one, he has these like raw emotions, and the wordplay is ridiculous. But can Kendrick have his moment? No, apparently not, without a hater. So let's talk about it. It's one thing to throw shots on a song, but Drake's legal team just took this feud to the next level. We're talking about Drake filing pre-motion documents against Universal Music Group over Kendrick's track, Not Like Us. Yeah, the same song that had the streets buzzing, and guess what? Drake saying that the whole thing is rigged. Artificially inflated streaming numbers, and I mean, come on, Drake's asking the courts to get the receipts. And it's not just about the numbers. Drake's mad about the accusations in the song. Kendrick's diss track, which he says he was falsely labeled as a predator. All this happening after Kendrick dropped GNX. Now look, Drake, this is exactly why you are not like us. He doesn't know how to fight with his pen, you feel me? So he keeps taking it to the court. Now he's talking about taking it to the courts, and this is making a mockery of the whole rap battle culture. Now, back in the day, a diss track was just that, bars, not subpoenas. This move right here just might cost Drake. It's gonna cost him that last little bit of street cred that Kendrick said you got and co-opted off of 21 Savage, right? Isn't that what Kendrick said? So I want to know, what do you think about this, Kitty?
Is the legal route a power play or a desperate move? I think it's a power play. You know, I think that these artists nowadays, you know, they're a lot savvier, you know, than we give them credit for. You know, so I think that they are not like the artists before them that just allowed management to just, dictate, or the record labels to dictate what they were going to do or what direction that they take. I think that we may not like it as an audience, the directions that they take, but I think that they're a lot more hands-on to the narrative that's being presented out there. So yeah, I think it is a power play. I don't think it's a desperate move at all.
You don't think it's a desperate move?
I think it's a power play.
Okay.
I think that it could not work. But is it made out of desperation? I don't think so.
Okay, so let's see how you feel after this, right?
Okay, let's do it.
So now, the drama doesn't stop there. It's being reported that the NFL is exploring alternative options to replace Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl, all thanks to what's going on with the legal mess with Drake. Now, Media Takeout says that Lil Wayne could take Kendrick's place for the halftime show in New Orleans on February 9th, 2025. And here's where things get real messy. Drake's legal team sent a cease and desist notice to the NFL asking them to block Kendrick from harming his reputation during his performance. So now, has that changed anything for you?
Well, a word from an NFL insider and the legal department is in chaos, okay? So they're trying to figure out how to handle all it. The details are still unclear, but Lil Wayne stepping in as a replacement is looking more likely.
Well, I mean, okay, granted, Lil Wayne would have been a great choice in regards to it being in New Orleans and all of that, but it's not just a beef anymore. It's turned into a full-blown legal showdown, affected everything from the charts to the Super Bowl. So I want y'all to let me know what y'all think. I think that Drake is a wuss, okay? And I haven't ever used that word, but it seems appropriate, okay? So you all let me know, who do you think is wrong here? Does Kendrick deserve to be sidelined over this, or Drake playing dirty? I'm gonna say this before we go to the next segment. What Drake is doing is he was trying to avoid another stadium full of people singing in unison, minor A, minor. He don't want to hear that at the Super Bowl. He cannot bear. He's doing all of this to stop that song from being played at the Super Bowl because that was going to end his career.
But you got to remember, the Super Bowl was white folks. Ain't nobody in the Super Bowl saying,
Yes, they are.
All right, let's
When's
go
the last time you watched the Super Bowl?
I don't watch the Super Bowl.
Okay, that explains
but no,
a lot.
I do. Last year, the audience is
The last year was Usher.
White.
The year before that
and
was
the audience
Dr.
is still
Dre.
white.
And the audience...
Rihanna, the audience
You
at
do
the
realize
Super Bowl
that
is
hip-hop
still
is
white.
50 years old.
Lady T, I'm not talking about who sees it on TV.
But
the
you do
people
realize
that are
hip-hop
going-
has crossed over
and
to...
do you look at the audience at the
Yes,
NFL?
and do you realize
and
that
it's
white people know
folks.
as much about hip-hop as you?
Yes, but they're not going to do okay.
Go back and watch the Super Bowl. Go back and watch the Super Bowl when they were in Cali.
Right.
And they had Mary and
But
Dr.
I
Dre.
saw that.
And you didn't see them singing along with
I guess
you?
I was paying attention to the show. No, I did not see the white folks
Those
singing
white
along.
folks know every bit of hip-hop that you do. It's a bit, I promise you.
Let's go to the
Okay,
next.
now, last up on today's show is President Biden dropped a bombshell pardoning his son, Hunter Biden, a sharp pivot from his earlier stance about staying out of the justice system's way.
Wait a minute. He's about to be out of office in less than a few weeks. What? You telling me you're not going to pardon your son? Get out of here.
In his statement, Biden said raw politics poisoned the process. This is what he said originally.
Yes.
Calling it a miscarriage of justice, but let's be real, the timing. Hunter was just days away from sentencing for federal gun and tax charges.
Was this about justice or a father protecting his son?
It was
Lady
simply-
T? Your thoughts?
It was simply about a father protecting his son. And just like we was talking about, white folks are very hip and know a lot about hip hop. And he clearly was listening to Lauryn Hill when she said, if I ruled the world, I'd free all my crackhead sons. However, right? However, I have an issue with the fact that you played a very, very big, huge role in this whole work for people to receive welfare. You know, they had to go back to work. The simple fact that you had the 3 strikes out, okay? You had all of this venom and came up with all of these laws in regards to drugs. And now, all of a sudden, because your son is a crackhead, you want to decriminalize drug use when you were locking people up and giving them 3 strikes, you're out? Seriously, Biden? At the end of your reign, now you understand the issue with what you were doing for decades? I say now, you want to talk about karma, that's karma. The fact that your son is on crack and you was locking up all the dealers and the users through the late 80s and the 90s, that's what you get. You lucky you was in a position to where you could free him. Anyway, what?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No worries. I understand your perspective, and I agree. I do believe it is karma. But if I was in that position and I'm on my way out in all the facets of my life, yes, I am going to pardon my son.
Yes, I'm freeing my doggone son as well. But certain people shouldn't be in jail to begin with. And this is the other thing. Your son is up. The other thing is
doesn't have to do with the other.
The other thing is how.
Because
you are literally empowered to change these laws,
and
you put them in place. He put them in place.
And it's already been done.
He put them in place.
And it's already been done. So now we are here with those policies, with whatever
and your
has
son
happened.
got caught up in your shenanigans.
Yes, he did. And now because
he is
the president's son,
is up for
he gets
drug,
to be pardoned. But you know that he will also have rehab. They will not just leave it at
and he
free.
also has this is the same. It is absolutely the hypocrisy and the audacity for you to have all this to say about Trump. And he didn't pay his taxes. He did. They got all this stuff to say. Your son ain't paid taxes. Your son was out here buying guns and lying on the application so he could purchase the guns.
At the end of the day, we're not in those powers of position. So let the crowd know.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, because there's nothing stopping you from going to Congress. No, what's stopping you from going to Congress? Folks, that is a wrap on today's episode of So Glad You Said Something. If I ever get a chance to say something sometimes, we'll catch you next time. Before you go, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Drop those thoughts below, and what do you think about today's topic? I want you to let me know down in the comments. Until next time, I am Lady T, and remember, here on the Tea Lounge, we don't give a sip. Peace.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.